Hey, it's Timescope11 with a tutorial on how I draw eyes on custom LEGO minifigures. So I believe this was asked about by someone a while back, but I forgot to do a tutorial on this. I've done tutorials on general color process, on how I make custom swords, I think how I make custom hair on minifigures, but I'm pretty sure I've never done one on how I do the eyes specifically. So I'm going to be showing on this kind of beaten up minifigure head that's not too useful for making any proper minifigures anymore, because it's an old head that had stuff scraped off of it already. But I'm going to be using that just to show how I make eyes onto custom minifigures. So I start off with taking this. I use this instead of paint for everything because it's much easier to get off and dries quicker, which makes it a lot easier to work with than more permanent paint. So the first thing is to just put on squares in the general shape of the eyes. It doesn't matter if they end up way too big like that, because they're going to be, like, not really, I guess, scraped or so with that messy looking thing going on there, then I take scissors and put them into the correct shape of the eyes. Of course, this part varies based on what shape the eyes are supposed to be. So for this example, I'm going with more of the Fire Emblem style of eyes. So now they're into more of the general shape. Next is to scrape them into the specific shape. Normally I'd be able to do this a bit faster, but since I have to hold it away from my face enough to have it in front of the camera, it's a bit harder. Could make them a bit smaller than that. So the next part in making them is, after getting the shape down, put on the eyelashes with pencil. And doing that usually means cutting the shape down a little bit more. Also, I'm going to be making these into female eyes just because it's easier. Then to put a drawn circle in for the irises. I think that's the colored part. So just some rough outlines of where to color in there. Also, I forgot to mention that whenever I'm making a custom minifigure, the eyes always come first because it's much easier to work with them when you're starting on a blank head compared to having the other details on the face first. Much easier to put the other details around the eyes once the eyes are finished. So put the darker color on first, and then take a lighter color for the bottom. I think I might have taken a color that was too dark to use for this. Well, it's a bit hard to see because I think I used a color that wasn't too different from the base color. But you can see somewhat how it's lighter at the bottom now. Then black for the pupils. Scrape off any excess color. Go over the eyelashes again. And then lastly, take this out again and use just very small drop of it. Just gotta make sure there's little on there as possible, and then take just the tip of the brush and dot it to put the light in the eyes. And then once that's done, I'll just go over this quickly since this was meant to be a tutorial on the eyes, but once the eyes are done, then use pencil to put on eyebrows and the mouth. Then draw in an outline for where the hair is going to go, and I won't show doing the full part of the hair, but once putting that outline in, use that as a guide to put on whiteout and then color it. So that's generally what it takes to make the eyes on a minifigure. Sometimes it's usually a bit quicker than this video took, but that also depends on the difficulty of the eyes. I made these as generic as possible with the style that I'm most used to doing, which is closest to the Fire Emblem eye style. Pokemon eyes and, well, Pokemon trainer eyes and Xenoblade character eyes, those are a bit more difficult because of the shape. Fire Emblem eye style is definitely what I'm most used to, so I can get that done quicker than other eye styles. And then also, like I mentioned, making female eyes is easier since you don't have to worry about how thick you're making the eyelashes. Whereas keeping the eyelashes thinner on a male face is going to take a bit more work, and usually some erasing with the eraser of the pencil. But anyway, that's how I make eyes on my custom Lego minifigures, and also a bit of how I make the rest of the face. So, see you next time!